Hello, everyone. This is April 4th, 2017, and this is your day in VR. Alright, to get things off to a quick start, I just want to update on the Batman Arkham VR announcement that I talked about yesterday. The Steam store page has been added to the Steam store, and you can go check that out and see that the price tag will be the same as the PSVR counterpart at $20. Whether or not you think it's worth it for about a 60-minute tech demo, let me know in the comments. I'm really curious if you kind of think it's worth it. I'll probably wait for a sale myself, but still cool that it's already quickly showing its price and everything, so people can start deciding whether they're gonna save some money for that. So pretty cool. To continue the VR game and experience news I have for today, Upload VR, which if you don't know who they are a sort of like an IGN for VR, news organization, reviews games, talks about the VR industry, stuff like that. They upload a full gameplay video of a whole mission on the upcoming game, Star Trek Bridge Crew. I watched the whole video. You should really go check it out. Link in the description. It looks really good. They were really into it. Like, they were actually seeming like they were really role-playing into it, which was a lot of fun to watch for sure. But when I watched it, it reminded me of the Ghost Recon Wildlands like E3 demo. I think it was E3 demo where they had like some really serious people like really getting into it and pretending that they're soldiers and doing all this tactical stuff, and they were like, oh yeah, this is the game, this is what it's gonna be like. And when I got in to the beta of that game with some friends on the Discord, we were just kind of all goofing off, just doing whatever, actually trying to get each other killed and run over pedestrians and stuff, like just silliness. And that's kind of how we could play the game. Not really this serious roleplay like manner. I feel like that's how most people are gonna play it. But either way, the game does look very promising and looks really exciting to play, especially if you have a group of friends. Unless you're me, and your friends are hard to come by. But seriously, go check it out. It looks awesome. Alright, this next segment will be about VR technology, not necessarily new headsets or anything, but stuff that will further the current headsets we have in the sort of GPU, hardware side of things. The first big news is from AMD. Any AMD fans out there, let me know. If you have an RX 470 and 480, download those new drivers that they just released, because you will be having some huge gains in VR performance because they've finally enabled a synchronous ray projection. A mouthful. I had to re-record this part of the video like 3 times because I said that wrong every time. But anyway, what it does in layman's terms is it'll just re-render your frames to reach that 90 frames per second point. So it'll be a lot more smoother in most games that it works in. Steam VR and Oculus are both supporting this sort of, they have different names, but primarily the same sort of thing, just better performance in VR. This is a really big deal because RX 470 and 480 are pretty cheap cards. Many people have bought ones that are kind of sort of building performance per budget. So if you have one of these cards or want to get one of these cards, this is a great time to also buy a headset with that. So you can really get into the first VR headsets and get into the VR platforms that are coming out right now. Very cool stuff. So really let me know if you have one of those cards and if you've seen any gains with the new drivers in your VR experiences. One more small tidbit in this category is someone has actually been testing out some motion capture with the new Vive trackers. If you don't know what motion capture is, you've probably seen it before a little bit for movies and actually game design, where they put little balls on the black suit and they actually do movements around in front of a empty room, and that translates to video game movements and blah blah blah. Well, apparently it's been having a pretty good success with the Vive tracking system and Lighthouse system. I got some links below, and it's probably a video or something showing it off, but really neat stuff. Usually these motion capture kits are super expensive. I know these trackers are also pretty expensive, but they will be nowhere near as expensive as the pro tier motion tracking kits that huge game development firms and also movie editing firms and whatever use today. So this is pretty cool. I'm happy to see that it's actually showing, like, these are really cool things because I'll be honest, I play VR for the games mostly, right? But there's tons of cool applications, like we're seeing the art programs and now the motion capture programs and the education. There's gonna be so many different things coming out in the next couple years that like, it's gonna blow our minds, honestly. Like, especially when they get the first sort of social media platform out and it's popularized. It's gonna be scary at first. I know this is gonna be terrifying, actually. We're gonna be terrified when we see the first big social media, Facebook sort of thing in VR. But it'll be really neat. But until then, we got some pretty promising and pretty non-controversial stuff going on right now. So I'm really excited for that. Alright everyone, so in my first video that I announced yesterday, I told you that I would answer questions that are asked below the video about the VR industry and maybe some extras along the way. So let's get right into that. Let me go ahead and pull them up. First question we have is by Zabby. Oh, a question, eh? What are some obvious changes that you can see happening to a lot of the current VR systems in next respective iterations? So that's actually a really good question. Let's go ahead and first say this is based on opinions of what I'm seeing in the trends in the industry. This is no way insider information, it's just purely an opinion. But the first thing I will say is it's not going to be the things that we really most want, which everyone I believe can agree is we all want the wireless, especially for room scale environments. We're tired of having that cord tug on our necks and our heads, and it's very annoying, but I do not believe that it will be built into the next generation. What I can see as a smart business decision, and what I believe many companies, if they're smart, will do is while you're buying your Vive or new next generation Oculus, you'll be able to add on a sort of accessory like TPcast, for example, that's already compatible and it will come in the box, but it's just like an added sort of price tag. I really think that will be what will happening because I just don't see built-in wireless being so possible as of yet, especially when a lot of people, if they want to save an extra buck, can just deal with the cord for now. What I do see changing quickly, especially more than anything else, is based on the technology that is possible right now, and that will first start with comfort. We can all pretty much agree by now that the Oculus Rift is definitely the most comfortable for PC VR headsets, and PSVR is even more comfortable than that, in my opinion. Vive has a lot of the way to go, and I believe that'll be a big sort of focus for them when they do release a new headset. We saw LG came out with a really impressive headset strap design where they were able to flip the headset up while keeping it on your head, which is really useful for people like me or developers making new games, where they can test their games, pull their thing up, build a new game on their monitor, or if you're like me, checking your camera, making sure you can change the direction, the tilt, whatever. Very useful, because it's usually kind of annoying to pull off the entire headset and put the strap back on and focus it. It's very cumbersome. But another big thing I think will change more than that is I believe that display technology can actually improve more, because we're seeing humongous gains in GPUs. Like about a year and a half ago when I got my Vive Pre, I only had the 980 Ti's, only as a joke, only. Obviously VR doesn't work very well with SLI as anything else does, but that was pretty big to run it. And now we have 1080 Ti coming out and we have Vega coming out, and we are seeing almost more than double the gains of 980 Ti now, and we're just gonna see huge more improvements as time goes on. GPUs are just insane right now. They keep getting much better, especially for VR performance. So we're gonna be able to see higher resolution, higher FOVs in our displays that are in our headset, which is really good, because a lot of people either complain about the cord, or they complain if they're really like judging between headsets, they sort of really focus on things like screen door effect or resolution or how crisp everything looks. And that's what I believe will change the most among the next generation of the current brands of headsets we have now. Damien said, what's up with that little picture there? Well, obviously the picture's not there right now, but I just sometimes like having something here on my desk to look pretty, and I have this little camera I take pictures with. It's one of those cameras that just instantly prints out, and I just want to put a picture there if there's nothing going on, just to kind of make the scene nicer. Nothing special. Michael Speth says, what do you think about Nolo VR? It's advertised as front-facing room-scale mobile solution. However, some Kickstarter backers suggested mounting the single base station on the ceiling. We did this at university years ago with the Flock of Birds tracking system for standing 360 tracking. Of course, not room scale due to collision issues once you leave the center point. Supposed to start shipping in May for Kickstarter backers. Okay. So, I actually did not even know what that was until you linked it. I'm glad you did, because after looking it up, it actually looks pretty interesting. I'm not sure how well it'll work, to be honest. I'm hopeful. I think mobile VR is good except for the tracking. Like, it's pretty accessible for people to just put in their phone, which already has a high resolution, especially at the newer phones and with the huge displays on them. But the tracking has never been there for me. So if they can make phones compatible with Steam VR and Oculus Rift in a really good way, then maybe it'll work. But for now, until I try it, I'm I'm questioning it quite a bit. The Lion Penguin says, I have a question. I'm currently 13, by the way, and I make $50 a month for my parents, and I am upgrading my computer right now. I'm planning of getting a Vive after that, but would you say that it would be worth it, or should I wait for Valve to make an upgrade or a newer Vive? This is probably too specific or long, but thanks anyways. No, it's not too specific, I think. I think a lot of the people that subscribe to my channel are around your age group, which is not bad. I remember the first time I really started getting into technology in general was around your age, where I really started to decide, hey, I want to get into, learning how to build computers and stuff. And I really believe this is the point of your age where you sort of kind of make decisions, sort of learning new things that matter more to you than matter more than schools and blah, blah, blah. So I do like to answer questions like this. For my opinion right now, I believe if you gotta watch my HTC Vive re-review, I did a video where I actually reviewed the Vive a year later after getting it. And basically what I said is I believe that there are new headsets coming out, at least later this year, that will be a little bit more updated than the Vive for the same price. Vive does not plan to lower its price anytime soon. And since you're gonna be probably building a computer, I mean, you're gonna be taking some time anyway, it seems, to be building this computer. So I would wait a little bit. That's my opinion, and I'm sure others would share as well. Danny YouTube says, do you think Vive will become obsolete in the next year and I'll have to pay more cash for another headset before playing true AAA VR titles? My belief is no. I believe that Valve has been very good with the Steam VR ecosystem, at least. I'm not sure about the Rift side of things, but well, actually, let's actually talk about it. Rift actually kind of kicked support from the DK2 and DK1, I believe, for their store. But Steam VR supports things like Razer Hydra, Oculus Rift, and pretty much anything that partner with them. And I do not believe that they'll kick out older headsets like the Vive anytime soon. They want people to stay on their platform for a while, so I don't think you have to worry about that. David Worrell says, how excited are you for Fallout VR? I'm more excited, I think, than most people, because I actually didn't get to play Fallout 4, or not. I just didn't get to it. I'm a much more bigger fan of Elder Scrolls than I am the Fallout universe, so I just kind of pulled my heels and just didn't really care much about it. But when it does come out, I'm definitely gonna play it and give my opinion when that time comes. It's apparently very, very good. People are saying that, but as always, we'll see. Ninja Trick says, here's my question. Will you pick my question? No. Laggin Video Gamer says, hey, Mr. Bradley, if you were to recommend a graphics card for VR that wouldn't break the bank, what would it be? My personal opinion is an RX 480 or 470 or the NVIDIA equivalent, and you'll be good to go, especially with, I was talking about earlier in today's video with the synchronous blah, 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 you know what I'm talking about. So that's all the time I have for now. Again, ask more questions. If you also enjoyed this video and appreciate what I'm doing, check the description for all my support links, and you can like, subscribe, and comment on this video for answers to the next one, which will be coming out probably tomorrow or the next day. Again, I hope you all have a great day.